You are eating clean. You are training consistently. You are doing everything you have been told to do, and yet the scale will not budge. Your belly fat refuses to shrink, and your energy is in the gutter. What if I told you there is one vitamin deficiency affecting nearly half of all adults? That could be the hidden reason your body is holding on to fat like its life depends on it. I am talking about vitamin D. And before you roll your eyes thinking you already know this one, yes, let me tell you, most people are getting this completely wrong. Vitamin D is not actually a vitamin at all. It is a steroid hormone that controls over 200 genes in your body, including the genes that determine whether you store fat or burn it. Here is what the science actually shows. When vitamin D levels are low, your body becomes more insulin resistant. That means your pancreas has to pump out more insulin after every meal. And as we have discussed before on this channel, insulin is your primary fat storage hormone. When insulin is high, fat burning is physically impossible. Vitamin D deficiency literally creates the hormonal environment for fat storage. A massive study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism tracked over 4,000 women for nearly 5 years. The women with the lowest vitamin D levels gained significantly more belly fat than those with adequate levels, not total body weight, specifically belly fat. And the relationship held even after controlling for diet, exercise, and other lifestyle factors. Another study, this one on men, found that vitamin D levels were directly correlated with testosterone levels. Men with vitamin D above 40 nanograms per milliliter had significantly higher testosterone than men below 20, and testosterone is critical for both building muscle and burning fat. Low vitamin D suppresses testosterone, which suppresses muscle growth, which lowers your metabolic rate. Every system is connected, but the study that really sealed the deal for me was a randomized controlled trial where overweight adults were put on identical calorie-restricted diets. One group received vitamin D supplementation, and the other received a placebo. The group lost 7 more pounds of body fat than the placebo group over 12 weeks. Same diet, same calories, same exercise, 7 more pounds of fat lost just by correcting a vitamin deficiency. Now, here is the scary part. Over 40% of adults in the United States are clinically deficient in vitamin D, and that number jumps to over 70% in darker-skinned individuals. If you work indoors, live in a northern latitude, use sunscreen regularly, or are over 50, your odds of being deficient are extremely high. And most people have no idea because the symptoms are so common that they just accept them as normal. How do you know if you are deficient? The symptoms include fatigue that coffee cannot fix, getting sick frequently, bone or joint pain, muscle weakness, depression or low mood, and of course, stubborn belly fat that refuses to go away no matter what you do. Sound familiar? If you have 3 or more of these, you need to get tested. Ask your doctor specifically for a 25-hydroxy vitamin D blood test. This is the marker that reflects your actual vitamin D status. Most doctors do not include it in routine blood work unless you ask. Now here is where most people get misled. The standard lab reference range says anything above 30 nanograms per milliliter is sufficient. But the research and the scientists who actually study vitamin D say the optimal range is 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter. If your levels come back below 40, you need to supplement, and you need to do it correctly. Vitamin D3 is the form you want, not D2. D3 is the form your body produces from sunlight, and it is significantly more effective at raising blood levels. Start with 2,000 to 5,000 IU per day. If you are severely deficient, below 20, your doctor may prescribe a higher loading dose for the first 8 weeks. Here is a critical detail most people do not know. Vitamin D is fat-soluble, which means it needs dietary fat to be absorbed properly. If you take your vitamin D on an empty stomach or with a fat-free meal, you are absorbing a fraction of what you think you are. Take it with your largest meal of the day or with a meal that contains at least 10 grams of fat. Eggs, avocado, olive oil, nuts, anything with healthy fats. You also need to pair vitamin D with its cofactors. Magnesium is essential for vitamin D metabolism. Without adequate magnesium, your body cannot convert vitamin D into its active form. Over 50% of people are also magnesium deficient. Take 200 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate or citrate before bed. It will improve your vitamin D function and your sleep at the same time. Vitamin K2 is the other critical partner. While vitamin D increases calcium absorption from your food, vitamin K2 directs that calcium into your bones and teeth instead of your arteries and soft tissues. Taking high-dose vitamin D without K2 can theoretically lead to calcium buildup in places you do not want it. Look for a combined D3 plus K2 supplement or take them separately. Sunlight is still the best source of vitamin D, but it is rarely enough. Your body produces about 10,000 to 20,000 IU of vitamin D from 15 to 30 minutes of midday sun exposure on bare skin. But here is the problem. If you live above the 37th parallel, which is roughly above Atlanta or Los Angeles, you cannot produce any vitamin D from the sun between November and March. The angle of the sun is too low. How soon will you feel the difference? Most people notice improved energy and mood within 2 to 4 weeks of correcting a deficiency. Fat loss results take longer because the metabolic changes are gradual. Retest your vitamin D levels after 8 to 12 weeks of supplementation. Adjust your dose to reach and maintain that optimal range of 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter. Once you are in that sweet spot, stay there. This is not a magic pill. Correcting a vitamin D deficiency will not make you lose 20 pounds overnight. But if you are deficient, and statistically you probably are, it is one of the simplest, cheapest, and most impactful interventions you can make. Get tested this week. Know your number. Fix it if it is low. Your metabolism, your waistline, and your entire body will thank you. Fuel your body right. Hit subscribe. I will see you in the next one.